Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dirty Pat Walsh channel on YouTube with me, your host, Dirty Pat Walsh. I got a can of Grizzly Dark Mint here, and I've used about half it. I don't know why I only bought one can of this. Actually, no, I got a lot. Let's get the pack here. I don't know why I only got one can of it, but that's the way it rolled. Yeah, I got like most of a can here. So what I got left. So that's pretty cool. I really like this stuff, the Grizzly Dark Mint. I really don't like Grizzly Mint at all. Sure. All right. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, I should have picked up the whole Grizzly Dark series. I really like it, the Grizzly Dark series, but I didn't. I was, I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking, peoples. Anyhow, I figured I'd talk about Pittsburgh. It's funny that the whole Pittsburgh trip happened a week ago today. I talked about it a lot leading up to it. I've talked about it a fair bit since coming home and all that jazz. So I figure everybody's probably sick of Pittsburgh right now. I was speaking with Hillary, and it's like this happened a week ago, and all the people involved we're all still pretty riding high off of it, right? Because it was a pretty phenomenal event. But all the people who weren't involved are like, why are they still going on about this shit? So we're gonna take a break from that today and do something. I pulled something out of the bag, my bag of artistic artifacts from the 1990s. Now, in 1998, I released a solo album called Broken Chair. Hold on a second. Well, I just looked over my whole studio, and the only one I could find was this one copy in a beat up, broken old CD case. So maybe I'll take out the liner note. The liner note's still in good shape. Yeah, I released this CD. This was my debut CD. I'd done a bunch of cassettes before this, but this is my big CD, man. I'm gonna go places with this. Yeah, it was recorded in 1997, and we released it in 1998. And this artwork is I don't know how well you can see it, but my friend Bill Batten did this artwork. It's quite a large chalk drawing, reduced down in size. So he knows I like the abstract expressionist kind of style of art. So he did up a back piece as well, and I absolutely love this, and I still have both of these pieces of art in my studio, in my library actually. But yeah, very simple liner notes. Just lists the songs on one side and lists all the credits on the other side. This was mastered by Andy Pride. The graphic design was by Rob Wilkes. Most of the songs were written by me, but Bernie Martin wrote a few of them. The photograph on the disc, which is this, that's little old me. That's me. That's a picture of me playing harmonica for my friend Ann Ryan for a show she did called When a Happy Thing Falls. That's what I looked like when I was playing harmonica for her. You'll notice I was a card-carrying IWW member at the time. I still have the IWW card. I just have I'm really like a, a decade and a half behind on my dues. So yeah, and just this is back when fonts were a new thing to me. So I thought this font was really edgy and cool. I guess. And on the back of the CD is the same picture as the back liner note of the front. It's the same picture. So now it was funny because when I released this, a lot of the people who were involved in the production of it, because I don't know, it was just what was going on. I wouldn't have so many people involved this time around, but it was like, oh my God, he's not listening the songs on the back of the back of the album. Like most bands, people listed the songs back here, but I just wanted to have this piece of art, and so whatever. I sold, like, this is I guess this is the only one I got left, so I must have sold them all, and I'm very proud of that record. It's it was, I recorded it over 20 years ago, but I'm very, very proud of that record. So, but what I found in the bag has to deal with that record. I sent it into the now in this area of the world, coming out of Toronto and kind of all, I think it gets all over Ontario, if not all over Canada. Is a magazine called Exclaim, and now Exclaim it's like a broadsheet newspaper. It's a music paper. It does reviews of shows, reviews of records, all kinds of stuff like that. It's a music magazine. And now this is really old. Exclaim used to be, before it was Exclaim, it used to just be this series of symbols, meaning like fuck or something like that. But they just, over the years, they changed the name to Exclaim. Anyhow, I sent this my Broken Chair record in to be reviewed at the Exclaim magazine, because I figured that would get it. Even if it was a bad review, it would get people hearing about the record. Because it would be. It's you know what I mean. I'm trying to get my word out, people. I'm trying to represent. Anyhow, this is the review, and so I sent them that, and I also sent them the Bernie Martin tribute CD that we did the same year, called "A Certain Man," the songs of Bernie Martin, where I appear on that record a few times. But anyway, I sent them both to Exclaim for a review. So they did a review of both the albums. Here it is, coming at you right now. Broken Chair by Patrick Walsh, A Certain Man, songs of Bernie Martin, various. Most small towns have that certain someone, ubiquitous, I hope I said that right, on local stages in many incarnations. Maybe a poet or a playwright. Sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Maybe a poet or playwright as well. Somebody who makes things happen. In Peterborough, Patrick Walsh is that someone. Whether frightening daytime audiences at the Peterborough Folk Festival with his spooky gutter folk, or rolling around the floor of a rock and roll club wearing a suit and wailing away on harmonica the same night, Walsh has got it going on. When it works, his primitive, southern, uncomfortable take on blues forms is harrowing. When it doesn't, his gravelly barroom voice sounds too affected, which is funny because I didn't affect my voice at all. But that's how she rolls. That was a pretty good review, I think. That review coined the phrase gutter folk. I've used that a fair number of times since this review. And what he's talking about is that whether frightening daytime audiences at the Peterborough Folk Festival with the spooky gutter folk, or rolling around the floor of a rock and roll club wearing a suit and wailing away on harmonica the same night, Walsh has got it going on. What that's about is there was one year the Peterborough Folk Festival had me do a workshop. I used to do workshops at the Peterborough Folk Festival all the time. I don't know. I don't even remember when that ended. Man, I don't remember how it ended, but it is what it is. But I just did a songwriter's workshop. So I went and sang a few of my songs, and I guess he thought it was spooky and kind of guttural, which is fine with me. That's a absolutely great way to describe my music to me. Or rolling around the floor of a club. You know what I was doing that night is the Jackson Sanatorium was playing that night, and we were playing our home base of Hot Belly Mamas, and the music crowd that was out and about was huge. You know, we planned this gig to be on the night of the folk festival for the people who didn't really want to go home after the folk festival was done. We were going to throw a big rock and roll party, and we did, and it was fucking amazing. It was a great gig. So I guess this fellow Michael Barclay was the reviewer. I guess he came to both events. So anyhow, to go on with the review. Bernie Martin was a friend to many Peterborough artists, but a reclusive performer. A great cast of talent, coordinated by Brian Sanderson and legendary soundman Ian Osborne, lines up here to interpret his songs. Joe Hall, Swamperella, Ken Ramsden, and others. Greer Coppins of the Taxi Chain and of Rare Air scooped the best composition, the heartbreaking One Last Dance. I played harmonica on that track. So there you go. Walsh appears here several times, notably on the distorted gem "Birth of an Anarchist," which is a song I did on fuzzed out guitar with my buddy Andrew doing like beatbox in the background. It actually worked really well for the song. Walsh appears several times. Blah, blah, blah. He also includes 4 Bernie Martin songs on Broken Chair. Both releases provide reason to raise a glass to local heroes. Sometimes they're all we have. Backlash Recordings, the old address of Backlash Recordings. Michael Barclay was the reviewer. So thank you, Michael Barclay, for this review from 20 years ago about other bands that were listed in these reviews were the Buttless Chaps, Tegan and Sarah, I believe the review, the title of the review section of the magazine is Trash Cantatas. I don't know what that means. Anyhow, cool stuff. Old stuff. Old record reviews from 20 years ago. For this old record, Broken Chair, I'd offered to mail you one, but I think this is my last one. I think I sent my last giveawayable copy to Kawashai, which you can see a review of on his channel. How about that? All right. I will see you later. And until then, have an awesome day and be well, everybody.